Hi again.
Hi, everybody. So real quick, you guys, we're just starting our command series class. Today's topic is on referrals. However, this is also a very open interactive forum, and one of our participants here who was on last week, she was just sharing with us that she was having some bumps with command and that she figured that out. So I asked her to share with us because this is really about our command journey, and this is all interactive. So we're starting off. So Karen, will you share what we were talking about today and give us, first of all, are you about to do your first lead accelerator ad? Will you share all of that with us again?
Okay, this is my first lead accelerator ad, and as luck should have it, I do have 2 listings, but they're not ready to be presented. So I reached out, and actually, I reached out to Patrice, and I reached out to another colleague of mine, and Mike Manning, because he helps me a lot. So I figured, it should, reciprocity, right? And Carol had a $3 million property in Sonoma. So they said I could show it. And so that was a good learning experience for me, to make that contact. And so when I got to the destination, like point in the Facebook ad, destination, you choose a landing page. And so I also had Taylor help me with this yesterday in command. Okay. I'm using all my resources because I'm like retarded in this. So I went to the choose landing page, and when I opened it, the very first, which is what I would prefer, the first agent site, it wouldn't take it. It said it was broken. The second one said it was broken. So then I put in, Taylor said, let's put in a slip to, command tech. And I did that yesterday afternoon. Nothing happened. I finally got a hold of somebody this morning, and they couldn't get anything. And I asked them for a workaround, and they said, other agents are experiencing it. We're trying to fix it. I said, I wanted to run the ad. I wanted to impress everybody in this class. It's like trying to get this thing off and running. And so then I just went, there's like, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different URLs. So I just went through them all. And the last one, which is about me, it worked. So I figured just run with it. It's $30. It's an investment. If nothing happens, whatever. But, it's going through the steps, and I'll see if anybody, and then I did, everybody says don't fool with the metrics, but I liked, I think it's the woman in New York. She said she likes to put health and wellness, and I do too. It's really huge for me. And I also like architecture. So I put architecture and design and health and wellness in addition, because that just speaks to me. And then I'm about to complete the budget. I'm just going to do the minimal, because it's not my listing, and it's just for experience, right? So that's my story. And thank you all for all your input, and Patrice, and I like your Christmas lights.
I love that. Would you say you like what?
Your Christmas lights.
Oh, thank you. I actually put the Christmas lights up last year after Christmas just to make my kids happy, because I was traveling a lot and I wanted them to feel some love in the house. And they burned out maybe a month ago. And so they've been really giving me a hard time, like, Mom, we got to get our lights up again. And so thankfully it's Christmas season. I was able to replace it. So, and I got
good. Yeah, they look great. Oh, and a tree. Woo.
Yeah, I had to get it down early. So Karen, I love you saying that. And I love that reminder. And for those of you guys on the call today or watching the video that weren't on 2 weeks ago, we did a lead accelerator class. Karen participated. We challenged everyone to do their own ads. And so that's what she's talking about. And Erin is on the call with us, of course, my co-host. And so she was the fabulous New York person who gave us the idea that when you're doing these ads, not only are you just looking for clients, but you're looking for the clients that are most likely relate to you. And Facebook is a gigantic world. So we're talking about putting in those kind of things that are specific and finding the kind of clients that like things that you like. And so that's what they're talking about when she's saying health and wellness and architecture. I love that too, because I think that's awesome. And so in addition to just trying to catch people that are looking at properties, she's also trying to attract people that naturally would want to do business with her. Because as we spoke about last week, and we all know from ads, the house that they call on is very unlikely that that's the one they're going to buy. that's just the bait so that you can begin to build a relationship, which is, you know, what our business is all about. So thank you so much for sharing that with us, Karen. I think that was awesome. Thank you very much. Does anyone have anything else on those notes before we start talking referrals and doing that kind of a class today?
Well, Patrice, it's Dana Wilson. Good morning.
Hi, Dana. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm so sorry I missed last Friday's, but I think you're saying that there are recordings, perhaps?
I have the recording, and I have to say I did not post the recording, so I will send it over to you today, and we'll post it all online. Actually, I'm putting an email together with, I'll put the last 3 classes, and then we'll do a nice blast so that people, you know, will get to see Erin's MREA database class, which is next Wednesday. So of course, you know, we've been meeting on Fridays every time, but as the holiday season is coming, we're jumping the gun a little bit. So this is, the next class is on Wednesday the 9th. And so I'm going to send that as a reminder. So yes,
So
you'll
Patrice,
get to see that.
When you say you're posting it online, where would I go for that?
I put it on my Facebook, and you guys, I'm going to put my email and Liz's email on here. So if you guys email me, I don't know if you've seen, I've been sending the videos to remind everybody a few days before, like, hey, log on to this class. And hopefully the market centers are sending those out. They won't give me the email addresses of everyone. So we're hoping that they're doing it. If you email Liz and or me, we will make sure that you get invited every time to these classes. Because as you know, we're doing this in New York and in Danville. And then Erin and I are going to be doing some international classes next week. And today's class is all about building your referral business, right? And really building a referral business is about building relationships. And so you guys will be welcome to come and join, especially since you guys already know and participate. You'll really get to have a lot to share with us. So
my comment was about the ad, and I had followed everybody's guidance on how to do it with the little emojis without saying a whole lot, with going to a landing page. It was actually one of my own listings. You know, I tried 2 versions. I tried a video version and just a still photograph with the 4, I think they give you 4 photos to do. And it looked and felt and seemed all correct. And yet I got 2 leads. So each lead was, you know, $15 each. And I still am sort of, I even had 2 people look at it. It's like, what did I do wrong? So I'm still a little confused about what I did wrong and how I could do it correctly next time. But I also wanted to throw in something else that maybe you and Erin could address, which is I have someone else that used to do marketing for our entire, I think they did it actually for your office as well as our office. And she is really highly recommending we also try Google retargeting ads. And I don't know how those compare or contrast. Do we do both? Do we do one or the other? So I'll let you guys run with that. That's it for me.
Okay. So I will just, I'll let you share here on a deep. The only thing I know, and I just want to explain what those are as from my basic way, and I think I do a good job of basic explanations, is a retargeting ad, you guys, is that when you go and look at something, Google will target that same person. If they look at you, then you can spend money so that you keep coming up for them over and over again. So it's a way to put yourself in their face. It's like a subtle way of always being around. So Erin, what do you know more about that? Because that's about all I know.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. And to be honest with you, it can be extremely powerful, right? I don't know if any of you have gone shopping, let's say for one of my favorite things, shoes. And then magically that one pair of shoes is everywhere that you look, you know, on every other website you go to, every time you open up something, it's there. So that's the retargeting. It can be extremely, extremely, extremely powerful. And the pay per click tends to be a lot less. Also just because now they're seeing your name. And personally, my thought is when it comes to that is you're paying a lot less for it to get in front of people. I shouldn't say that the pay per click is less because I actually don't know that firsthand. However, you're paying less to get in front of people. And if you do a really good job with your branding, then I personally believe that brand recognition is going to get in front of people that much faster. So I think the point of the Facebook ads is very different than the point of the Google ads. I think the Facebook ads is really to find people that are attracted in real estate because you're showing photos or videos, which I would love to hear if it was different for you between the photo and the video. However, the Google paid ads to me is like, this is my brand recognition and you're going to see my face all the time now. So that one time I do get in front of you on Facebook, you're like, oh shit, I've seen this woman's face 15 times, or I've seen this logo 15 times. So they work really well hand in hand, but that is not something that you can do, to my understanding, through command. I believe the Google paid ad is different than that.
You're correct. Yes. And this marketing lady said, so I'm doing EDDM. I went back to good old fashioned mailings for one particular area just to sort of see what that would gain me this year, because of course we can't go door knock. We can't see people. But she said she would highly recommend, and I'm just considering this, is put those dollars into the Google ads and not the EDDM. And she seems to feel that, of course, it's just one person, but she's got marketing background and I don't. I mean, I've got outside sales background. That Facebook tends to be people that are kind of messing around and look at people's, cat videos, where Google, like you said, is going to start tracking people that show an interest somehow in real estate. And you can run those ads through MailChimp, but actually making the whole process happen, I have no idea how that works, other than you do it through MailChimp. But I don't know what do it through MailChimp really entails, because I'm the least techie person in the world.
Well, and by the way, so these are great topics and we aren't always experts on all of that. I will say, number one, the EDDM, I put it on there, is an inexpensive way to do farming. So for those of you that don't know, what they do is they break down the zip codes. And if you market those areas, you can't select a house, but they will send to everyone out there. So she's talking about doing farming. And by the way, Dana, working with all of those in conjunction is about as good as it gets. So because what you're doing with Facebook is we're really farming our area. I'll get to you in just a second. Do I say it, Messiah? Maisa, sorry about that. Maisa, so we'll get yours in a second. So when you're doing Facebooking, technically that is a way of electronic farming, because we know they're within our geographic database, right? Now you're talking about the retargeting. That's the same way. When those people inside of that area click on you, now you're all over. So again, it looks like your billboards or social media wise all over the place, and you're everywhere. If you do that in conjunction with your EDDM, and I don't know what it stands for, I see that in there. I can't remember the actual name.
Every door direct marketing.
Okay, oh yeah, that's easy. So if you're doing it in conjunction, right, we can't do farming in the same way. So this really is a way of farming, and you can do that specifically geographically. I don't know how to do it either, but I believe that you can find ways of really marketing on Facebook and your targeting. Now, this is something that, again, we all may want to have a discussion and ask our ASC or our tech person to have a class on. Yeah, because again, that's what this class is about, is learning the next step. And we don't know. And I think we probably all should be considering something like that. So thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, that would be a great future class. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Maisha, please share with us.
Okay, so I have been studying Facebook ads and things for a little while. I'm working on a draft, so I haven't launched it via Facebook, the manager. But in watching the videos and things, someone said that when you put an ad or you put a post and then someone else shares it, then it goes into their sphere, right? And so it just keeps haunting me in the back of my head that if we made it a practice amongst ourselves, that when we as agents at Keller Williams, Danville, El Dorado Hills, New York, Walnut Creek, wherever we are, if we see that one of our fellow agents has posted and we share that post, then not only does it say that you shared it from someone else, when you share it with your friends and your agents and your office share it, you're also reaching their sphere as well. So it's kind of like a hidden referral thing. And if it was something that we took on, then like the ad that she only made 2 leads and $15 a lead. Well, if Erin took it and posted in New York and Patrice posted it on hers and I shared it with mine, then she is reaching more people that way as well. So that's just something I wanted to share. There's also, I don't know if you know about the pixels that you can put into your ad. So it's just, it gets to be a lot of information, because you're like, oh, I got to get everything into this one ad so I can launch it and it make like 33 cents a lead, right? That'd be great. but it's, you know, I tend to hold on to a lot of information because I don't want to be the one at the end, but I realize that with sharing with everyone, we all get ahead at the same time.
I think that's a great point. And Erin, you look like you're going to say something. And by the way, this is a perfect segment into the referrals, because that really is what it's all about, is us helping one another. So Erin, please share with us.
Oh yeah, no, what I was just going to say is you have no better person on this call right now than Patrice to talk about exactly what you're saying, because she does it at an extremely high level, and she'll, I know, share that with you. I do just want to say, Tracy, no, there is no cost, because what's happening is she's talking about if we post something on our Facebook, and Patrice will tell you how she does it. She tags all of these agents and has conversations with them continually about sharing, right? She shares their stuff, they share her stuff. So it's not a paid ad. This is purely a post that then gets reshared and then reshared and then reshared. So go for it, Patrice.
I love that. So awesome. Well, so we're going to kind of start kind of the class. And again, this is more of an interactive. So we're going to keep talking. I just want to go back to kind of how this all started, because I think this is what's important. So Erin and I actually met at family reunion in France, where Erin was teaching a class on luxury real estate. And you're like, oh, I didn't even know you could go to family reunion in France. I didn't either, until David hit one of my amazing referral partners who I've taken bold with, and we volunteered at Mega Relief. And, you know, again, this is the KW thing, right? You just start meeting people and having genuine relationships. He said he was going to go teach a class in France. And so I said something in French, and he said, you need to come. And I was like, you're insane. And he's like, no. And next thing you know, we're all going to France. So 22 Americans flew out to France. Erin, David, and a handful of other people were actually speaking. And then most of us just went there to learn and to meet people for this exact reason of our topic today of, hey, what if I meet someone who can refer business to me? And if there's one thing.
What city, Patrice, did you guys go to? Did you go to
We
Paris?
went to Lyon. The conference was in Lyon, and then a handful of us traveled to Paris together, both before and after. So the ironic thing is the only person that I knew from that entire trip that was going was Anastelle Mays, who you know in our office, who I love, and she and I really love traveling together, and we're very close. And then David hit. So that's all. And then most people, I think, really only knew David was like the one connecting factor kind of for everyone, because he calls himself the #1 referred agent in Keller Williams, has for years. That's how he gets business. And to be honest, he's the inspiration for a lot of what's been going on in my life since then. And he's the reason that I'm connected with Erin, who has become one of my best friends and has been my peak performance partner and is responsible for a lot of the success I've had this year. So thank you, Erin, for that. And again, it goes back to exactly this. Go ahead, what?
And vice versa.
Vice versa. Yes, we're definitely, it's been really neat. So, and the neat thing is that, again, this is the Keller Williams has all these family reunions. Most people don't go to these family reunions. Most people join a company and don't really go there. And I'm not doing a commercial for family reunions, other than if you go, you need to realize that the opportunity is not just in taking those classes, which are phenomenal, and you're going to learn all kinds of stuff. The real power is in the relationships, because really real estate is a relationship-based business. And building your business for through referrals is 100% relationship. So Erin and I aren't looking for another. We don't have conversations that say, hey, who do you know that's looking to buy or sell in my neighborhood? Although sometimes we do say that to make sure that we're getting our contacts to count. But in general, she and I are building genuine, real relationships. And I think that's something in our real estate career, that it's so easy to be so busy chasing business and solving problems, that sometimes I know in the past, I haven't had the time. I'm like, oh, I'm too busy to build relationships. And what I'm here to say in this class is that is a foolish mindset that I had before that I'm happy to break. And I hope that today, Erin and I can inspire you guys to have an open mind, right? And the reality is that since this summer, since I've become more purposeful about my relationships, I've gotten, yesterday, I just got number 36 agent referral since, and I think I started counting them in June. I was in Louisiana. I had to travel, and it was a little crazy. And all I could do, because I couldn't do business because I wasn't here, was just have relationship with people that I know, trust, and care about. And most of those guys were agents. And so I just want you to know this is a really big piece of business that everybody that's on this call has an opportunity to do. So And you know, that idea of should we be sharing everyone's Facebook? I'm just going to go to that one. And should we be sharing these posts? And what Erin says, I do at a very high level. What's really neat is yes. So I'm very fortunate that I probably have maybe 5 to 10 people internationally that tag me on almost every time that they post a listing. So every time that they have a new listing in their country, they tag me, and that triggers it so that I actually see that post, and then I share it. And sometimes I share it where I'm tagging many more people so that I can be sure that I'm giving them and their listing the most exposure for that. By the way, I also put cute little taglines and say, PM me if you're looking to buy in this country, PM me if you're looking for a move. And I actually have had 2 people that reached out to me and said, yes, I want to retire in France. Can we talk about that later? So I would love to hear someone's input on that and to get into that discussion, since that was brought up. And I think that's a really, really good point.
I mean, the power of the referral is huge, right? And I don't think that we fully understand it, but we're at least part of why we're with Keller Williams should be because we're part of the #1 company, the largest company globally, right? So just like Patrice, once you actually start thinking bigger, bigger things start to happen. And it might sound silly, but it's the truth. If you don't think about, I have referral partners in this state, in this state, in this state, and then in this country, in this country, in this country, and it's kind of like that bold thing, right? If you don't raise your thermometer, you're never going to make that money because you don't know what you're going to do with it, right? Well, if you don't think about all of these amazing referral partners you have all over the world, then you're not going to listen for the cues. But the second you do, it starts coming all the time, right? Oh, I know this person here. I know this person here, and I'm going to send you here. And it's just an automatic conversation that you have with people, especially when we are working with our database, like with the forward questions, right? Being in New York, not everybody wants to, live their entire life here. I'm sure where you guys are at, not everybody wants to live their entire life there. And I'm sure some of you aren't from where you live now. So that's another big thing, right? I know a lot of people that come in with their phones because the first thing that I say, KW, is start calling through your phone, build that database. Well, I'm not from here. No worries. You actually have referral partners where you're from. So calling people that aren't from here, that's another big thing that you can do. And getting, a certain percentage of a deal is far better than not getting anything. I think there's some people that are literally just referral partners and they just send out referrals, right? They don't even do their own business and they make a great living.
I love that. And we're actually going to have a goal for that. And by the way, so Adelaide, we just had an agent that's just joining us from France, actually. She joined the New York recording last week. And again, it's just it's really about building a network, you guys. That's what it's all about. Now, the one thing I will say is that I don't know, I'm building relationships that I hope will give me business. I'm absolutely having to commit more time than I normally would because I'm not expecting any of these people that I'm in relationship. It's not tied to them giving me business. I'm in genuine relationships with people that I really respect and care about, people whose business I genuinely want to make better, people whose lives I want to make better. And these are real relationships that I hope will turn into business. So I was saying, I'm not like asking them for business every time. What I'm doing is I'm showing them who I am. And oh, by the way, if an opportunity comes up, I definitely want to take care of them because I love getting free money. It's like, oh my God, how awesome. You're going to work for me. And I'm just going to tell you someone's name. That's really cool. And I get a check. And then vice versa. If they have someone, hopefully I've done enough to earn their trust and respect and they know who I am. And they, at this point, care about me. So they genuinely want to help my business, which again was kind of the success we had this summer. And as Erin mentioned, we are worldwide. And I think that's something that until I went to France, I just wasn't as aware about. And our family reunion does have like a worldwide event and a couple hundred people go. And that's always really neat. And I think I was intimidated to go, right? It's like, oh my God, the worldwide stage, that's so exotic. And I'm little Patrice from Louisiana. Like, what am I doing going? And who's going to want to network with me? And it couldn't be any farther from the truth because these guys are really so impressed with the Keller Williams opportunity. And they are just sponges that are looking to talk with people from America because we have access and experience with so much more than they have been able to. So I just kind of want to say that it's important. We're in 51 countries. I think we have 170 something thousand agents all around the world. And by the way, this class isn't just about doing the internationals thing, because that's exciting and it's really fun. It's also about finding people within the US that you know and want to learn about. And it's also finding people in our general marketplace. So that's what our class is really about. It's using referral business and kind of leveraging all three of those systems. So internationally important, the sharing is nice. Most of that stuff is going to be on technology. And I think for you guys, I think it's about finding someone that you're really in line with, is finding a new agent if you're a new agent, finding someone who has a small team if that's what you have. If you're in luxury, looking for an agent that's in that luxury field. And I think you have to be, I think it has to be on you to be proactive and find that person and seek them out. Erin, would you agree with that? Take that as a yes. I'm
sorry, I keep muting myself on my phone because I have some background noise, but I completely agree with that. And I think also, you know, you made, all right, paying for Erin, I took a referral and I was like, oh, this person is there. That's great. Or I didn't take it. I gave it away to this guy because I was like, oh, he works the area. He's KW. Perfect. Didn't really have conversations with him about his business, how he runs it. Didn't have a relationship with this person. Just put him in touch with my clients. And needless to say, they've listed with someone else because he didn't follow up, right? And I didn't follow up with him. So I think something that Patrice is saying is so important with getting in a relationship with these people, getting to know these people, or someone like many people in the office will come to me because they know that I already have these relationships with people, but making sure that who you're giving this referral to is a trusted partner, because this is money, right? And this is a relationship. And that person is actually going to be a reflection of you. So just make sure that it's not just someone randomly that you're finding. Hello, Fran. Bonjour. But actually making sure it's a good referral partner for you. Someone that, as she's saying, is in alignment with you.
Yes. And Erin, when we taught this class last time, you really brought up a lot is setting those expectations. And remember, we had that dialogue of what should you expect from a referral partner? And I think that that's one of those things that, to be honest, and I'm looking directly into the camera, it's your responsibility. It really is. If you're going to be in this type of business and this is how you want to build your business, then it is absolutely up to you. It matters who you're going to be giving your clients to. It matters who you're going to be giving your time to. And if you expect to earn that person's trust and respect, it matters who you are and what you give. This isn't one of those things that you can just do fly by night. This is truly building a pillar of your business. And it's something that's going to take a long time, and you're going to be putting a lot more effort. So for me personally, I like to do 50 contacts a week that's our minimum standard on our team, is 50 contacts a week. More is great. Since I'm doing the international business, I've had to increase that, because if I'm only focusing on 50 people that may send me business over the next 3 years, well, I have to wait on chance, and that's not necessarily going to happen. So I just want to make it a point that sometimes you have to do a little bit extra. So I do focus on 50 contacts internationally of building relationships, and then 50 contacts of actually driving business, and something that will turn into a pipeline quickly too. So I just wanted to make sure that we said that. So Adelaide, do you want to say hello since you're our international traveler here? Yay!
I'm the only one from France?
So far, yes.
From Europe?
Yes.
Okay, so hi. It's a bit late right now. It's 7 p.m. I just got back from a visit. So business is working fine, even if we have COVID restrictions. And so yeah, hi from France, south of France. So
yay. Yeah, so she's in the south of France. So if you know of someone, and who does not want a villa in the south of France, hello, right? It would be great. So Adelaide, we'll have to have people if they want to, again, you may see a lot of friend requests from Danville, California today, and it would be great if you guys have communication and conversation with her. She's fantastic. She and I have connected on Zoom. She's a newer agent, and she also just hit it out of the park. She is already, what'd you have, like five listings, like within the first couple months during COVID? Like, you had a lot of big numbers, right?
After COVID, I went up to 13. And at the moment, I have about 8.
And tell us how long you've been doing this business?
I started in October, but I actually started working, like properly working, right before COVID.
Okay.
Bad timing.
So The other cool thing, you guys, that I really love about my connections with the agents in Europe is that their financial thermostat, their expectation for this business is vast. We joke all the time, and anyone who's taken Bold in California, we say all the time, like the average listings taken in Bold is 14, but in California, it's like 7. We always say that because we have a high price point, and I think sometimes we set the bar a little bit lower. And the one thing that's really helped to change my business a lot is now that I'm in relationship with people in other parts of the country, they're doing ridiculous business. There's a couple of guys, Josh and Michael Bailey are crushing it in the UK, and there's like 22 listings signed in a month or 22 closings in a month. I'm like, what? During a pandemic, it's just amazing. And I think the cool thing about having these relationships is, again, great if we get a referral, which is amazing. Great if we give a referral, that's amazing. And how amazing when we're learning to run our business and expand our mind in a much bigger way. So I just kind of wanted to say that. So thank you, Adelaide, for sharing a little bit.
Well, and also actually, Adelaide, would you mind sharing exactly the markets that you're in? I think instead of just the south of France, if you just say your market.
Sure. Market is Keller Williams, Victoria, like the Queen.
And which cities are those? What's a general, like?
City is Hyères, Hyères, which is right in the middle. It's right in the middle of Toulon and Saint-Tropez.
Okay.
So you may know PH and Mail.
Yeah.
So that's the market they started. Now they're in Metropole in Toulon.
I love that.
Because we have two
Patrice,
centers in the area.
Patrice, can we ask Adelaide like how she how she had this tremendous result so quickly?
I would love that. Yes. She's one of the ones who's inspired me quite a bit. So I would love for her to inspire you. Adelaide, it's a little hard to hear. Can you speak a little bit louder so we can make sure everyone hears you nicely?
Maybe it's better.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. It helps. In fact, when I started real estate, before that I was working in the wine business. So totally different from real estate. I started with KW in October 2019. And I'm someone, I like to know what I'm talking about. So I did the Ignites 2 times each, some of them more. But what really changed is the mindset, because I realized that I was my own boss. Before that, I was an employee. And I also made a big personal change. Like everything, I stopped everything. So I was on my own. I had time. I had more energy, more confidence also. And it really helped to work a lot during COVID, get in touch with as many people as possible, and gain a lot of confidence. Was truly what made the difference, I think.
So was it reaching out to your social sphere and saying, hey, I have my real estate license. Do you know anybody who wants to buy or sell, that kind of thing? Or did you you couldn't have knocked on doors in COVID, or did you do Facebook or?
I was on the phone all day.
Okay.
I think that my phone truly hates me because I'm always on the phone, and even my coach always tell me you're always on the phone, and I'm always walking around the market center with my phone and talking all the time. So that's truly what I did during COVID. I don't know how many kilometers per day I was doing, but yeah,
calling people and just saying, hey, how are you doing during COVID? Or I have a house to sell, or do you want to sell your
just
home?
getting in touch.
Okay.
Just to know how they were going, how I could help. And giving and telling them what we could do at the moment, what we could do after. Truly, building a relationship.
Okay.
I love that. I think it's so cool. And what is your average contact count per week?
I'm not very good with the CGI. That's really an effort I have to make. I hate my tracker. I hate CGI. I have to do it, but I honestly couldn't tell.
Would you guess it's over 50? Is it close? Is it just a kind of a ballpark? How many hours are you lead generating?
On my planning, I have minimum of 2 hours per day. I don't always do it because part of it is also, I used to work in the wine business, so talking with restaurants owners, partners from my other life, the one before, Also getting in touch with friends because they may know someone and they need to know what's going on, and I need to get in touch with them to know if COVID, family, everybody's fine. And I'm not pushing. I'm not talking real estate, but they talk real estate to me. And that's the way I like it, because you just start talking about anything, life, family, COVID. I hate COVID. But very quickly, they ask you how it's going on, if you have visits, how the market is going, and they tell you that they have someone who's looking for something. And just by talking about, just with a random conversation, you can have a referral, you can have informations, and yeah, that's usually the way I do it. I do not push, but they always talk real estate.
I love that. And that's really the way it is. You are showing who you are as a person, and then they have the opportunity if they want to engage you in a real estate conversation. And then you show up as a professional with the confidence and the mindset of, if this opportunity comes, I'm going to take it, right?
Yeah. And I also I have a friend who works for a construction company, building houses. So every time he has an appointment, gives me the contact, and so we work together also on that. I'm looking for land for houses to build. That's what he's looking for, and well, he gives me referrals often.
I love that. And that's something that I actually didn't have in this class, but we have a lot of new construction in our community, in the Danville and the San Ramon Valley marketplace. And if you guys are befriending, I think Beverly Steiner, who's the OP of our office, or a few of our offices, I think she used to go around, and I believe we'll see if she watches it and corrects me, but I think she used to bring cookies and actually go around and build these relationships when she first started, right?
Usually
this is a referral business. Those are agents that work there. They're hanging a license probably somewhere, right? You can build a relationship with them. If they're buying a new construction house, chances are they may have something to sell, and they can certainly move on. So thank you, Adelaide. That's a wonderful, wonderful point. And then of course, she's calling everybody, you guys. The cool thing is we all know somebody, probably lots of them, right? And the contention of this class is, you guys, you have 170,000 family members in KW. Many of them, like Adelaide, who would love to have this conversation, don't know a lot of people in the US, may not know people in your market center, and would love to sit there and be on a Zoom with you where you can share ideas. Would you guys agree with that? Yeah. So again, it's just got to be one of those things, like everything else. It's your own business, as Adelaide said, and you just have to go out and have those conversations. And oh, by the way, everyone is a contact. So people always ask, who are you going to call? You could call 100 agents a week and just kind of start those conversations if you chose to. And I will go back to, you want to find somebody that is in alignment with you in some sort of a way. Going back to kind of those ads, you do want it to be somebody that you would naturally have a nice connection with, because you're planning on being in a true relationship. What do we say? 36 touches a year is what's required to in these programs. Erin's going to teach us in our database class, right? 36 times a year. And I always say you have to do it for 2 years before it counts. So you better make sure that you're choosing someone that you want to have 72 conversations with in the next 2 years. And you're hoping to build out that business. So I love that. You guys, this has been so good. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to add one thing on that. So I know that this is a referral class, but just because this came to my mind, I love how powerful that would be, right, to have conversations with other agents. And what if you made 2 of those conversations with agents that weren't in KW and you just told them what you were doing, right? Then you can build your downline too, and that's gold.
Absolutely. By the way, Erin is in talks with actually potentially starting a country off hosting KW. So she definitely does this at a high level, and you can see exactly where her mind goes. But you guys, it's really funny. The opportunities are so endless in this business. And I think that's as much a blessing as it is a curse. And I think sometimes there are so many things we don't know where to start. And I think the trick is that you just start, right? Erin and I just started doing this class. No one came up to me and said, hey, Patrice, I think this would be a really, well, actually someone did say, hey, will you teach at our market center in Panama? But it really is like, okay, what do I think that would be of value to me is I like having conversations and relationships, and let's just start this class. There's no reason that every one of you on here couldn't do something similar in finding someone that's a connection. So since we're already, so far it's been great, and I definitely want to talk more, and we have that referral topic. So I want to squeeze in some of the content that we had in the other class, and then so we can get back to conversation, because I love the conversation and I love hearing from all of you. And I want to make sure that those who came in are going to get some of the tips. So how can we build up our referral business? So number one, it's Facebook groups. You can definitely, for those of you in KW, if you go and look up KW or referral in the groups tab, you can find dozens of groups. I remember the first time I did it, I was like, I don't have time to sit around and like ask to be invited and join those. Please know that there are dozens. As a KW associate, you can join all of them. There are some that are international, there's lab coat agents, there's all kinds of stuff. People will oftentimes say, I'm looking for someone in this community. It's up to you to post your name. You can ask agents that you trust and partner with that really know to help you by partnering up your name, assuming that they know how you do business. And then you also can and should call those agents and try and form a relationship. I will say that when I've had the most success converting those deals, it's because I reached out to somebody, right? There's 3,000 names up there. Mine may be up there 15 times. Nobody's going to be that impressed with the person whose name is just listed if I'm not proactive enough to call. So again, it goes back to when I get this referral business, even when it's my name up there, it's because I reached out to call. So you will have to take that step. And oh, by the way, that's a contact, right? It's another agent that you can form a relationship with, and you can say, hey, I'm looking for referral partners. I noticed on Command, because Command will tell us where people are moving to and from. If you look it up, Jeffrey can help you with that. You can say, I see that a lot of people have been moving to Idaho, Utah, Seattle, Texas. I would love to know an agent better in that market. Can we have a Zoom conversation and get to know one another better? I'm looking for a referral partner. Would you like to be that for me? Yeah, please. I'd love to talk to you.
And please, please, please do it the way that she just said. Make sure that it is, you know, hey, I have people moving to this market. I would like to create a relationship with you because maybe this is just the New Yorker in me. Maybe this is just whatever, but I cannot stand it when people reach out to me and they're like, hey, Erin, I see a lot of people are moving from your place to my place. I want to be that person for you to send business to. I do understand that, and that is valuable. But for me, I feel like coming from contribution, like, hey, I have people moving there. Let me build a relationship with you. It just goes so much further than asking for the business. And again, maybe that's just my own little personality, but I just think that that can be really powerful. And Patrice, maybe you talk about when you accidentally did that ad somewhere else.
Oh yeah, so I will say before that, because Erin made me realize, so Erin, you guys during COVID, you know, we all have kind of scrambled in our different ways. Erin started a podcast. I don't even know if that's what you call it. It's almost like a video that she does on Facebook Live every week called Where to Wheelock, where she literally is interviewing people from around the world to learn about their business. So we're talking about coming from contribution and coming at a very high level. You guys, I love getting referral business. It's awesome. My goal for next year, though, is to give out more referral business because I only have so many resources. At some point, I'm going to have to start hiring more people, which we're actually doing right now, which is awesome. I love that. And how powerful is it if I can give Adelaide a deal, if I can give an Erin a deal, they do all the work and I just get to cash the checks. So please do know that this referral opportunity is a win-win for both sides. So that's definitely there. So I'm going to go through my list. So the other thing is like just little support groups, you guys, all kinds of stuff on Facebook that you could find, just any way that you're giving back value. But remember, it's not just about joining, it's about building that relationship with people is super duper important. And then Erin brought up what I accidentally did. So thankfully we get a lot of referral business. I think this is important too. So I'll say, when we get referrals, you guys, that's when the relationship building begins. I think a lot of people think that they build the relationship, they receive the referral, they go do work, and then the check will just go out when the check comes. In my opinion, I think that's a small-sided way to do it. When we get that referral from that person, I actually start building the relationship on a much higher level. We are in conversations with those agents and giving them update on the transaction twice a month. So we are constantly letting them know, this is what's going on with this buyer. This is what's going on with the transaction. Maybe the buyer has a lending problem. We are literally having those conversations. So that number one is super important. It's all about building that relationship and gaining that trust, even more so, especially after you get the deal. What that's happened for us now is we're getting not just one, but they're sending us two. We're getting an average of 3 pieces of business from some of these agents. because they actually know how we work so hard for them. They're like, this is almost like, we're like an expansion team from them, right? They love getting free money from us. It's wonderful. And I love paying it out. I make sure that that's clear too. I don't ever want anyone to feel guilty when I give them a check. I make sure that they know over the top that I'm delighted to give them a $10,000 check, because people like that and they don't want to feel bad about it. So what Erin's talking about is, so I have these referral partners, right? People tag me on their listings all the time, or they'll call me and say, will you share this? I know now that this is a part of how you do business and you have good exposure. You have international exposure. Will you share this listing? So we had someone, they gave us our listing, we shared it. And I said, Liz, will you run an ad and maybe we can find somebody for this client? Now, what I meant is maybe somebody, it was a Utah house. So I know that people from California love moving to Utah. It's a great price point and we lose a lot of our sellers there. So I thought, oh, great, we can get a seller who wants to go buy this house on Utah. Well, Liz is usually advertising for buyer leads. So what she heard was, I'm going to go advertise this house. So she actually advertised this listing for this agent in her own market center. So for $45, we were able to give our referral partner 39 leads in her market center for her listing. You guys, there's nothing more coming from contribution than sharing it for free, getting exposure for her, and actually giving her leads for her business. And of course, by the way, she'll give me a 25% referral fee because they're all referral deals. Awesome. Who cares if it never turns into anything though? I mean, I'd be great if I got like 50 grand from that, but I don't expect a penny. What I do know is that she knows and trusts and sees who my character is, and that she is going to continue to refer business to me because she knows that I go the over the top and the extra step. So I'd love to talk about that if anyone has any ideas, because I'd like to take that a little bit farther in our business as well, and we haven't done that yet.
I mean, I feel like that's the most important thing, right? Being able to build that relationship to go back and forth, and working with people that you said, like in areas where you do see a lot of referrals going back and forth. Why not post for each other? Come up with something.
Yeah, totally. And then, you know, and again, now that referrals has been such a pillar of my business, and I've been fortunate, I've always gotten a decent amount of referrals, never like I have this year, you know, and so the difference is what have I done differently? So yesterday I was on, Erin and I are global ambassadors. So that's what we call ourselves. We're the people that travel to France and we speak every week. So I'm on a call. By the way, these are great referral partners who are fighting. We're all fighting for business for one another constantly, really going out of our way to make sure that we get deals for one another. That's amazing. That's really powerful. So I'm on this phone call and I get a call and it's from an agent in San Francisco. So I put them on pause and I take it. This agent in San Francisco, Angela and I went on broker tour in San Francisco. That was part of our business. We wanted to grow our referral network and we decided that we were going to visit areas outside of our territory, just outside. So we're in the East Bay. We know that sellers sell in San Francisco and they move to the East Bay. So we decided we're going to start going on broker tour. We met a bunch of agents there, had a really good time, great conversations. I think we bought snacks and we were just being really fun and personable with them. Well, next thing you know, COVID happens. This was earlier this year, or maybe it was late last year. But what I did do is the Keller Williams way is I put these guys in my database and I started emailing them very relevant information. I've been mailing cards to them. And so yesterday, one of those guys called me and his words literally were, well, Patrice, your marketing has paid off. I have a referral for you. So he called me out of the blue. I met him on broker tour. Awesome. That was great. I really believe if I hadn't taken it that extra step, continuing in this relationship that I'm in with him, that I wouldn't have gotten that piece of business. So you guys, this works and it works really, really well. We're talking about international. We just talked about nationwide and getting business all across the US, also important. And I do, as much as I don't want you guys competing with me, because you guys are all my competition, you guys, you should be calling people in Marin County. You should be building relationships with people in San Francisco. You should be building relationships with people in the South Bay. You should have relationships with people in the Sacramento markets. We are right in the center, right? We're right in the center. So we're a lower price point for people from San Francisco. So this is an easy move all day long. And we're also a really high price point for people that could go to the farther East Bay or the Sacramento or some of those Northern California areas. So that is a really big part of business. It's great, but you need to do that. And then you guys need to build relationships with them to kind of move it up. And by the way, I have referral partners in Sacramento. I had one deal this year that closed and 4 different agents it went through 4 agents to get to me. One agent referred me to somebody else who referred me to somebody else who referred me to somebody else. And we did that piece of business. That wouldn't have happened had I not had those relationships. So I think you guys, this is a really big key. I think that's enough tips for now. And I would love for us to have kind of more of a discussion and some ideas, because I think if we supersize just that and don't overcomplicate it, it can be really great. So how can that work with Command, Erin? How can we use Command and opportunities as a high level so that this can become a pillar for everybody on this phone call next year?
Well, Command, of course, right? That's how you do these. You use MailChimp to be in touch with these people, or BombBomb, whatever it is that you use that to be in touch with people. And I think also Command has tools where you can see who is referring business where. And yeah, just that way, I think of keeping in touch.
You guys should be taking notes for this, because
Command.
she's giving real practical advice, and she'll talk more about this. Will come up a little bit more on Wednesday, but I just want you guys to really, really write that down. If you don't know how to find the leads in Command for where people are moving to and from in our area, then you need to get that done immediately, right? Because we're sitting there and someone's going to say, who do I call? I could tell you who to call. Erin just said. So Erin.
I will tell you. So if you're in Command and you click my referral network.
Here, let me screen share actually.
I know.
Would that be okay?
Let me, yeah.
I'll give you the ability to screen share.
Okay.
I think that's how we do it.
You got it.
I'm going to make you a co-host, so I think that will give you the power.
All right. Let me know when you can see it, because my computer likes to go black and then come up and then.
Okay, it says now I'm viewing your screen, so. It's going to take
Can you
just a
see it?
second. Okay, here we go. Yes.
Whoop, whoop. Okay, so you're in Command. You click on your little referrals guy. Then you're going to go on Map. Nope. Allow. Oh, doesn't know where I am. Guess it needs to know where we are. Let me try this again. All right, so this is your dashboard, right? Now you go to the map. Referral patterns. Command is mad at me today. We have an error, but this is where you find it. You go into your referrals, you click on map, then this little drop down right here. You're going to say, right, you have market centers, my network, referral patterns. And this guy is going to tell you where most of the people from your network are sending it to. And this one is going to be where they're received from, right? So who the receive is going to be who is sending it to you. And sent is obviously where your network, your market center is sending them out to. Sorry that Command is mad at us today, but you know, she's just teaching us patience. Actually, Command is teaching us today how to take notes so that you guys can go and find this on your own later.
Yes, 100%. And you guys, I wrote some comments on there to make sure that you guys are following Erin on her Where to Wheelock, because that's another great way to find people, right? So, you know, I think the number one in bold, they always say that, what's the one thing that you can do right now or within the first 24 hours so that you'll be that much closer to? So I would challenge you to friend Erin Wheelock, share something, friend Adelaide, share something for someone else, and find out how to do that screen share if you did not see that. We have Jeffrey in our Danville office, and he is fantastic. He knows that we're doing these classes. He has classes nonstop that he's itching for you guys to get in. I think we have 2 or 3 command classes a week. And if he got more participation, I bet he'd give even more because we have so many. So, and even if you guys are from other market centers, I think most of us are from here, but you can participate with our classes. It's really cool with Zoom. We're able to share. So you guys can always reach out to me. You can reach out to Liz. You can reach out to Erin. You can reach out to anyone in any of our market centers, and we will definitely help you get connected. There are resources. We're just here to inspire and give a few ideas and obviously hear back from you. But there are deeper resources, KW Connect, your market center, all kinds of stuff. So We only have a few more minutes. Does anybody want to share more or ask any questions that we may have missed? We had so much going on that we didn't quite get to all the content, although I do believe there's plenty for people to work with.
Patrice, it's Dana again. I'm wondering when you're reaching out to the agents in the areas that you think are important for your clients moving to and from, et cetera, do you follow up ever with any printed material? You'd mentioned emails. I mean, obviously a phone call would be initially the best way to connect, get to know each other, but you mentioned 36 touch for all these agents. What are you sending them of value?
Okay, so I'm very cynical, and so I'm judgmental about what comes in an email. So I don't need for anybody to tell me that the time's changing. I don't need anyone to tell me it's Thanksgiving or that it's the holidays or all that stuff.
True. So true.
Right, it's like, oof. So I've been nervous about that. Most of my career, I've only ever sent out 2 newsletters, and it's when taxes are due for property taxes, because I think that's something that people really do forget, actually, and the penalty is steep. So just so you know my background. So now I'm working on changing a little. However, the only way that I feel okay sending out these newsletters, and I'm actually using BombBomb to do newsletters. So I do a video to share how grateful I am that they're a part of my world. And then BombBomb has some content that I really do appreciate. So I am doing a newsletter right now. That's once a month. As of next year, I will be doing a newsletter every 2 weeks. It'll be the second week where it's going to be international properties and nationwide properties of my friends and partners. So I will be having a newsletter that's going to feature Adelaide's listings and Erin's best listing and Jeremy's best listings and Rodolph's and a handful of other people all over the place, because I think people will find it interesting. So if we take little bits, I think people in my database will find it interesting, and so will the agents. So that's going to go to my sphere. That's also going to go to my agents. The other thing is I do AM cards where it literally sends them a card, and I just say, hey, we just want to remind you that we're here. We hope that if you ever need someone, this is the market centers that we work. So I always tell them where we're located and remind them that I love their business, and I tease that I love paying referral fees. So, help me out. But I would say really, I'm very, very good with being personal with people. I send out a genuine text message saying, I'm thinking about you all the freaking time. People are probably like, the people that know me, and Erin, we are in a real relationship. At Adelaide, same, we've connected a lot, but wouldn't you say that you really know you're important in my life? Right. Yeah. Everybody who are global ambassadors knows that they're important in my life. So I do a very good job of them just knowing that they're in my thoughts and my hearts. This has nothing to do with business. That's literally just the icing in the cake. When I say we've gotten 36 referrals in the last 6 months, 0 of them were asked for. Every single one of them were people that I just loved and cared about. And oh, by the way, they happen to love and care about me back and know that I'm a professional agent, right? You guys, I'm going to go into this real quick too. Part of this is image, right? I'm now #happy-agent. I was very strategic about that branding. It took me a long time to try and decide what did I want to be known for. Everybody says they're the #1 agent. Everybody. I mean, it's amazing. I'm like, wow, we have more I think every agent is the #1 agent of something. Everybody says they're the best negotiator. Everybody says they're the best at everything. And I didn't think that you can't tell that up front. I see people all the time. I'm like, that guy's not the best. He's terrible. Oh my God. He's a total jerk. Like what? I can't even believe that. But I found something that was true to me. And I do think it's important that yes, I'm in relationship. Yes, I'm doing these touches. I also present who I really am. And I'm all over Facebook. So they're seeing me a lot more. I think that's important. And I think everybody should go out and represent themselves appropriately.
Patrice,
right?
Patrice, what's an AM card?
Oh, so when you take bold, there's this company called AM Cards. I'll send you a link for it, actually, Karen. Will you email me so I have your email, or actually text me your email? I'll send it out to anybody that wants it. My number, I'll put my number in the marks. So AM Cards is, it's an automated card system, and it costs $2 a card, including postage. And I type in a message. So for the San Francisco people in Adelaide, you may have gotten one if I have your mail. I'm not sure if I've mailed to you. So I have one that I send out to my internationals, and then I have one that would be sent out to my local agents. And I write the same script in the email, and it's usually a hello from Patrice. I just wanted to say hi. I just wanted to make you smile. I hope you're well. If you need anything in these neighborhoods, please connect me. Oh, and by the way, if you're just looking for an agent anywhere in the US or around the world, I know so many agents and I'd be delighted to be. I connect people, by the way, to deals all the time. I'll bet I connect 30 agents with other agents a week, by the way. So I am also giving back that way. But that's what the AM cards is. You click the button and then it's just very easy for them to be automatically sent out. So it takes me about 30 minutes to send out 50 cards instead of like handwriting.
And what database does it feed off of?
Well, I had to upload my own database into there. So I chose the addresses, and actually we'll be adding to that because I just actually we actually messaged, just recently I messaged hundreds of agents a week, you guys. I literally send out personal messages and ask them questions, say, I'm thinking about you. I mean, I supersize it. So I do a lot, but you would want to do your own spin, but you guys, you can do anything. It just has to be natural and real for you.
Right.
And like Erin just said, it's being on purpose. That reflects who I am. If I wasn't the type of person that would want to be tied up on the phone call with someone for 30 minutes, I shouldn't be projecting that. But any of these people that call me and say, I need your help, Erin, I would drop everything to get on the phone with them and make it happen. Right. And I convey that. And that's my value that's who I really am. So you really have to look at who you are, what's your business and what kind of value you can bring. And that's what you want to tailor your image around on social media. And that's what you want to go out and offer to other agents, because it's like Erin said earlier, right? What are you going to give them first? You're not asking for them to give you business. And it's amazing that when you give something to someone, they naturally want to give something back to you, right? It's just human nature. It's like Adelaide said, she's just having a conversation, showing kindness. And now they're like, oh, well, you tell me about what you're doing, which, hey, just happens to be real estate, right? Please, Adelaide.
There is also one thing that I did during COVID is that I had time at home, and my previous job was to work in communication and PR. So I'm sure that you all have a book that explains all your services and how you work, etc. But it's not something that is usual in France. And I made my own book. And every time I have someone's email, I send it just for them to get to know me. We're not talking about listing. We're not talking about anything. I just want to show them the way I want to work. And I think it's easy to understand. And it gives a very professional image. And yeah, in the end, they think of you because they remind that, in fact, you sent something that not everybody does. And I don't know any other agents in the area doing it. So
we should do that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I love that, Adelaide. I think sometimes in this business, and correct me if I'm wrong, you guys in the US, I think sometimes we want to have the image of we're successful and we don't need anything, and we've got this covered and we're just really casual. And then there's also that professionalism side. And it's a hard balance of like, we're in a career that we don't want to be selling all the time because everybody we know is technically our customer. And so I don't know about you guys, but I've in the past have had some hangups of worrying about, will it be weird? But Adelaide's right. I mean, we need to be the PR person for our business. We need to be the professionals. If we want people to think of us as professionals, then we darn sure better act like them, right? I love that, Adelaide. I think that's wonderful. Maybe we can do a little mastermind. Would you share some of your book and we do a class with you? Would you share that? And would everybody appreciate that if Adelaide would share it with us
it's
one
in
morning?
French. It's all in French.
No, that's okay. I think we just would have a general discussion and they can look through. So if we do a mastermind on that, maybe at the beginning of the year, or maybe we can even find a day in December, would you be willing to do that? And would everybody love that? Because I think that's freaking cool.
Yes.
Yep.
And if you want me to share mine, even if you don't read French, just to have an overview of how it is, just feel free to. You have my email in the chat, so feel free to write to me, and I send it to you.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. And then let's do a mastermind, because Erin and I, we love these classes, and we'll be doing today's, of course, series, the third class of our series, and we're just going to wrap it up after this. We're going to be doing the same series again with other market centers, some of them actually in France that we're talking with. We're just figuring out the schedule. But because these topics are growing, and every call we have, it's kind of like we want to go back and forth. So Erin and I have talked about doing like a Friday morning before those classes of just having a general mastermind, so that we can get deeper on these subjects. So I think having you as our first guest would be really cool, right, Erin?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And do you guys all agree in Danville? I'd love to hear your feedback as we close out, because we're actually a few minutes past.
I love it.
Love it.
I want to be on all your meetings.
Yay.
Yay!
We love it. Well, you guys, so we're signing out. Erin and I will be in New York City, zooming across. I'm going to have my, instead of the Christmas tree, I guess I'm going to have to put up the Golden Gate Bridge again, but we're going to do that in a little while. So if anybody wants to participate, you're welcome to. The link for both, I put both of them on the ad, so you should have it on Facebook. And thank you guys, everybody, for coming. And we hope to see you next Wednesday when Erin's going to be teaching a class. It's a little less interactive because this is a true class this time. So make sure you bring your notebooks and are ready to learn, because this will be great. So thanks, everybody.
And also just a heads up about next week. If you want, I'm going to try to be on a little bit early because I'm also taking FSO and it overlaps at the end. So I will be very clear on my cutoff time. So if you do have questions or things you want answered about the database, please come a little bit early and I'll be on early.
I love that. Oh, great, Erin. I'll make sure so should we say 9 o'clock then? Should we say a half of an hour for the discussion before, if anybody wants to have a talk?
Patrice, is that Wednesday?
Okay.
Is that Wednesday?
Wednesday the 9th, correct. So Erin, can we say, would 9 o'clock or 9:15? What time are you thinking? 9:15
I'm
maybe?
pulling up my calendar.
Okay.
Definitely by 9:15.
Okay. Why don't we say 9:15? So that's plenty of time, you guys. That'll give us 15 minutes to talk about whatever and really have any kind of discussion that may have come up in the last little bit. So that way Erin can just chunk through our class, and there'll be a little bit of interaction. I just like to be upfront that one has so much content that's more, teacher at the front of the class, right?
You know what? Actually, never mind. We'll just do it. It just wasn't in my calendar. So it starts at 10.
Okay. No,
Wait, when
our
does it
class
start?
starts at 9:30 our time, which is,
We'll leave that. We'll just leave it.
okay. So everybody will see you at the regular time on a different day. So Wednesday, the 9th at 9:30 California time. And again, we'll be sending out those links, and anybody can always ask for all those things. And we'll make sure to send you my cute videos in the morning of saying, hey, everybody, join us. Thank you,
Patrice,
guys.
Yeah, Patrice, question. I got your link today from the front desk. Is that how you send it out?
It'll always be, you guys, it's always the same link. It's been the same link
Okay.
every single week. So the same link for Danville is the same on every class, and the same for New York is the same on every class. So this link is the same. So just save this.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
everybody. Thank you.
everybody.
Bonne soirée.
Thank you. Au revoir.
Bonsoir.
Au revoir,
À
yes.
bientôt. À bientôt.
Bonne soirée, bon appétit.
See you in New York in 5 minutes.
Bye bye.
Bye.